Y'all didn't believe me, did you? By the way, not sponsored, but hey, even though I'm not sponsored, Sonic, if you're like really weird for some reason and you want to burn cash in your pocket, sponsor me. I don't know why you would, but hey, I'll take a Sonic sponsorship. Why not? Right here. There it is. Brand new cup for the corner. I don't know why this is becoming a bit, but for some reason is the Sonic cup, the trusty, the part of the channel, even though it's not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. Scholars, we're almost to 4,000 subs. That's right. Sponsoring myself today. Almost to 4,000 subs. Appreciate everyone who's recently subbed and supporting the channel. Everyone who's ever supported the channel. My members, sorry, have not been live streaming much. I did a little bit of Call of Booty. I've been sick. I'm doing much better. Still a little phlegmy. I'm still doing much better. A little more energized. 5,000 subscribers. And the beard goes away. That's right. I will no longer have a job as Jack Black's body double. Everyone says I look like Jack Black, including my students. But I will shave it all off and lose my backup job as Jack Black's body double. Why he would need a body double anyways, I don't know. Maybe he'll be the next face of the Mission Impossible series, like a new spinoff, and it'll just be Jack Black. And he'll need a body double. I don't know. Anyways, you know what I don't know? Is why people are fucking glazing Bungie again. Fuck, dude. It happens every damn time. And this time, it just shows how fucking stupid people are. People are so desperate to give Bungie a fucking W. Let's just read this. We got a lot to cover. Like, we're doing a crunch video with multiple things that are happening that aren't really worth doing like a 10-minute video. So we're going to crunch them together and just kind of roll out the news. Call this This Week in Destiny, except it's Tuesday when you're watching this for some reason. This Week in Destiny, right? This Week in the counselor's office talking about Destiny. So Destiny 2 team just randomly posts this out. As we continue to develop power and progression changes for Destiny 2 Renegades, we'd like to announce the following changes. Seasonal power will carry over into Season 28 in December. There will not be a seasonal power reset as in the past seasons. Additionally, your unstable cores will carry over into Season 28. Beginning next week, a catch-up will be available to boost players to 300 power. Wow, 300? Fuck, you're so generous, Bungie. Damn, 300? We're doing the Lord's work here. You know, the 3 people interested to come back for 300 power. Fuck yeah. We will provide additional information on these changes and more in the tweet on Thursday. You already seen the surprise. People who are giving this a W are fucking stupid. And I mean that. Anyone in this community that thinks this is a good, like a W, on its own would be normally a W until you realize that Bungie's fucking adding Delta caps. What are Delta caps? Well, let's do a refresher. You may be wondering what is a Delta cap? These are restrictions on how close you can approach the level of an activity with your own power level. If an activity is power level 200 and has a Delta cap of -10, then the activity will get easier as you approach power level 190. In this scenario, once you reach 190 or above, the difficulty will always be as if you are -10 power level. So if you are 200, you will be facing content at a deficit of -10. You will do -10, which means, by the way, why does that matter? The more net in the negative you are, the more damage you take, like the less resistance you have, the less damage you do. That's kind of it. There may be other things, but those are like the 2 notable ones. You do less damage and you take more damage. You could be 550, but you will always be 520. And now you're probably thinking, well, if I'm always going to be 520 in ultimate mode, then why the fuck would I grind 30 levels that are going to be fucking useless? And you know what? You're right. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make sense. You should just not give a shit because at 520, you're capped. That is the most you're gonna do. So why the fuck would you keep grinding to 550? Same thing with Grandmaster. Right now, I can do a Grandmaster at 450 and it's easy. I don't have to add any modifiers. I'm guaranteed tier 4 loot. However, with the update 91.5.1, I will always be negative 25. No matter what the fuck I do, I will always be negative 25. It will never get easier. If I want to have the power fantasy of being a glass cannon and beat the shit out of everything, you can't do that. By the way, I'm just going to say this right now. I am okay with deltas. I think deltas is how it should fucking be. It should be based on difficulty, not your power. However, because they want to deep throat you with power progression, because that's the game now, this change means fucking nothing. And this right here does not change the fundamental issue that people have with unstable cores. There's literally like a chart. I'm about to go. Here it is. I went and found it. We have clarity. Destiny 2. Here's a graph of unstable core economy, not complex in the science Discord. What the hell is infusion? So here we have when you destroy and shred armor for cores versus how much cores cost as you level up. At 550, the infusion cost becomes from 200 becomes so goddamn expensive. But the rate at which you get from shredding shit is night and day difference. So this shit, who gives a fuck about this change? It doesn't address one of the biggest fucking issues that people have with unstable cores. They removed fucking legendary shards for a reason. And all they did was bring back legendary shards and make them fucking worse. Like the shred to infusion, like the use of legendary shards was equivalent to what you shredded. I would even argue, I think you got more from shredding than using them. We're building momentum, baby. That's right. We're momentum, even though we're still not going anywhere. We're going in circles. Guys, we're fixing a problem, but we're making it worse. We're just literally just can't go in one right direction. I'm going to give my personal take. What they need to do is what Borderlands does. Bring back levels. I know people are getting PTSD. The reason why levels never worked for Destiny is because we had levels and light power. Like light level, that shit just needs to go. Power progression, that needs to go. Do ranks. And then just like Borderlands, to unlock the different, the different levels from like Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 through 5, you have to do different challenges. Do the same shit. In fact, we kind of already have that system. They're called Guardian ranks. So unlocking Guardian ranks unlocks the ability to do Ultimate mode. And let's be honest, they want a time gate shit. Guess what's also time gated already? Guardian ranks. So get rid of, it's already a system. The system already sucks dick, but I'd rather do that than waste my damn time power grinding. I'd rather just play the fucking game. Unfortunately, for most people, playing the fucking game is just power grinding, which is fucking useless. Like, it has never been more retarded to power grind than in this update. At this point, if you enjoy power grinding, you are a retard. Because it doesn't even matter. It's like trying to go up on a hill that's iced over and you're wearing skates. You're trying not ice skating, like rollerblades. You're like trying to skate up the hill of an ice hill. You're always going to be at a deficit. You're always going to be at a negative, and it doesn't even matter. So, of course, you have people eating the slop of Bungie, W's, praise, yay. You might as well just remove the level at this point. A decade spent making tweaks and you're no closer to figuring out than when this, yeah, we're going in circles, except it's just now pointless. You got work fast. Oh, that's something else we'll address in a minute. Spread the word. Thank you for the feedback in this area. Okay, now remove the delta. Silly. Here's what I don't get. They're trying to be ARPG similar, but have power level tied to gear, weapons, ARPGs in the space. They reset tie level to XP, and gear turning can be random with more difficult content, giving higher chance drops. Well, I think this is good. It's insane that they effectively removed what I imagine the entire end game of Renegades was supposed to be. This game is in for some really, really rough player counts this year. Bitch, we already there. We're already in the 15Ks. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? We're already there, kiddo. Please praise us for not pushing total dogshit playtime mechanics as the population hits new lows. Come on, bro. We didn't do the bad thing. It isn't awesome that we didn't do that thing. Isn't everyone happy? Bungie, we're listening. Hasn't cut it for the 2 years and it's showing. We're building momentum, baby. Bruh, it's an endless cycle of shitty decisions and running it back. We're not celebrating the fact that we're not going to suffer for a disastrous decision you already made. Like, dude, which, by the way, because it doesn't fucking matter. The decision to not roll it back just keeps us at neutral. Them rolling it back would have been a bigger pile of shit because people will realize how bad the deltas are. Like how the deltas are going to play a part in the future. Because it won't even matter. And people won't know, especially the higher you are, you won't know. If you're just starting out low, you're going to feel it immediately like this is stupid. Make all the world drops have set bonuses. Feature gears can stay in portal. Yeah. The player count going to be down, sure, scared them. But in all seriousness, this is good. Now remove collision from comp. Wow, no power reset. No, got to keep it all in Renegades. Big W. Yeah, whatever. We still have to grind to 700 power next season, though. They forgot to mention the new cap. Yeah, would it? You know, he's spitting truth. He's spitting truth. There's nothing to say that Bungie just ups the number to that few. Guys, we're not going to take it away, but we're adding new. We're going back. Guys, we're going to 1,000. That's right. We heard you. We're doubling. That's right. We're not taking away. We're going to double the power grind to 1,000. We're back, baby. We're back into the thousands. Oh, shit. This is bad. Yeah, just remember, I'm okay with this. Get rid of the power because this nullifies power, like the whole point of power progression. Like, this is it. This should be the challenge. The challenge shouldn't be leveling. The challenge should just be the content, in which case make mini challenges, use guardian ranks to challenge people to get to the next rank. And then instead of like, you can time gate your guardian bullshit, whatever, to whatever new content, obviously like the new dungeon, you can't get Grandmaster unlocked until the new dungeon. And then if there's like an epic dungeon for some fucking reason, Bungie wants to, go full retard and do that. Have the ultimate unlocked. Personally, I would like to just have access to from beginning to the end and just blow through it and do whatever the fuck I want and play the game however I want. That would be great. No time gates. But we're dealing with Bungie here, and we're working on momentum. It's not about the race, it's about the marathon. Even though Bungie doesn't even know how to make a marathon, and that's a reused joke that is still fucking funny, even it's being reused by me a second time. Hell yeah. But it's still very fitting. Like at this point, I just come to my expectations versus reality. I try to meet somewhere in the middle. Because to expect Bungie to do the reasonable thing is not a thing. Now, you also, you have your content creators. Everyone sees this power changes on Destiny as a huge W. All I see is yet another reason to never log in. Took the path of least resistance. This is horrendous take. Game almost died and still may die because of the terrible power grind. Power hasn't been relevant in years, and we have had healthy populations, but as soon as the power grind in EOF came along, we are hitting record lows. You should probably check your facts. Where am I wrong? Power hasn't been relevant in years. Literally never hit the lows we have back to back below 2K. there was a drop off after the final shape. However, people were still playing the game. But since Edge of Fate can't even manage 20K, so where are we saying here? Edge of Fate and the power grind are not the reasons for these numbers, is what I'm saying. They are many, many, many issues that are causing numbers. I can agree. So let's be honest. He's not wrong. The portal's the problem. The whole tiering system, which is why Bungie wanted to abandon 90% of the content, because that's the real problem. Abandoning 90% of the content in the portal. Power progression is just the cherry on top, because that is the content. There's no content in the portal except for power progression. So I will give Chevy some leeway if that's what he's trying to say. If that's what he's trying to say. Now, catching up, Lucky. We reacted to Douche Canoes going after his family, talking about his son, which is shitty and shouldn't be acceptable. Living proof that Bungie only acts when it goes viral on Twitter and they can get some W replies to polish their virtuous image. This was reported behind the scenes multiple times ago and Bungie did not care. Weird. What it is DMG replying, horrible behavior. Apologies. You and yours have to deal with this. Went through, reported, escalated a few names that needed changing. Quite a few of these have already been banned or moderated. Couple in that screenshot hadn't been logged over the last 100 days. Third-party sites may cache names, so while they've already been changed, they may still show up in research. Go to DMG. And here's the deal. He's several years ago, reached out to a Bungie community manager. Is it hippie? Is it hippie? I bet it's hippie. Why do I, like, the first person that came to mind is fucking hippie. Useless piece of shit. Like, we may grill DMG here, but we can all agree he is significantly, even though he gaslights, there's nothing worse than hippie when it comes to community managers in any video game I've ever seen. Like, she is probably like one of the biggest piece of shits I've ever seen. Especially some of the other crap that's come out about her, like absolutely dog shit community manager. So finally, we're getting people are breaking down. Listen, I'm not about witch hunting, but if you go after someone, like I'll say it, if I had a kid and you ever went after my son, I will bring the fucking hellfire down upon you. That's all I gotta say. Like, listen, I'm not about witch hunting, but don't leave the kids out of it. Leave my kid out of your mouth. I'm gonna slap you upside the stage like Will Smith. Wham! Lastly, we have Destiny hitting the lowest player count in Steam franchise as community reaches breaking point. I don't trust Bungie anymore. Who fucking doesn't? Yep, that's right. Shit is hitting the pound. I'm not gonna read all this. We all know. Here, I just like that it gives a nice little list of like the averages of how bad it's been. By the way, the average for not for 30 days, but we're dipping at lows possible. By the way, people love to say like, actually, that doesn't include console numbers. So we go to CB Bro, which keeps things relatively up to date. By the way, this is probably the most accurate information that we have since there's not a lot of places to get it, but we do have very raw data to make comparisons. Obviously Steam, I don't know if how it logs the number, if it's based on people who are actually playing the game, like these activities, or if it's based on like if you're in orbit, like, because I know there's a way of splitting API from time in orbit versus time in game, because Steam will track it all as one package and won't separate versus actually looking if you're actually playing the game actively. So I would say it is fairly accurate, not perfect by any means. Like, obviously, again, we don't know. This is 24 hours. This is an hour ago. So it's about what, 4,000 players off, which is pretty reasonable. If it's a couple 4,000 players off, like all players, if we give it a generous estimate, round that number up to like 60K, maybe 70K. Hell, it's still going to be under 100K, which is fucking dog shit for a game that needs monetization to survive. And less players means less fucking people buying the dog shit in the game. And I think it's very noticeable of where we were at last year to where we are at the beginning of this year. Like, it's bad. And we've actually had some decent highs too, by the way, like the peaks. But the peaks the past couple months have been awful. We're building momentum, baby. That's right. We're building that momentum. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Renegades isn't going to save shit. Bungie can make all the changes in the world, and it's not going to mean shit. Especially now that power progression is even more pointless with Delta caps. Which most of the stuff that they showed us for Renegades was talking about the end game and the power grind. So I'm like, well, you just added deltas, so you kind of made the power grind kind of fucking worthless. So like, what are you fucking doing? Now, if it's a fun fucking activity and I want to actually continue to grind it out, then fuck yeah, pop off. Like, that's making a solid activity you just want to play is always the fundamental that you should focus on, not the power grind. I have very little faith that Renegades is going to turn the ship. I don't think it's going to even change numbers. You may get like a bigger dip than Edge of Fate because it's Star Wars. I think it's delusional to think. I would be absolutely baffled if we get this number. Like, I think I could see getting half of this number, maybe even close to 200K. Like, Star Wars has a lot of pulling power. It's not as excitable. In fact, I've looked and seen what people have mentioned, like Star Wars accounts posting about like Destiny's now doing a Star Wars, and people are like, okay, that's great. Give us a fucking Star Wars game, because they don't want to play this piece of shit game. They want to play their own Star Wars game. They don't want another fucking Fortnite. That's what Destiny's becoming. It's a fucking Fortnite. So you have people who are fans of Star Wars that don't even know what Destiny is. And they're like, well, I don't want this dog shit. So it's mostly just going to be from this pocket population coming back that likes Destiny and likes Star Wars. This is the population. I highly doubt we get anyone outside of the game who plays Destiny to come in, especially when they realize how dog shit the new player experience is. They're going to be walking into a live fire, like dumpster fire. Either way, I don't know. It's baffling me that they make changes. I'm noticing a pattern here because they've done this multiple times before. It seems like every single time the community is in outrage about the current power grind, this is always their solution. I personally think it's time to scrap the whole power grind concept and figure something else out that do what Borderlands does. Do power, like level grinding, and make it to where you're just playing the fucking game. Makes it like you can literally choose how you play Borderlands and grind. There's fast ways to do solo. There's group ways. Let people play, and then make them do challenges that can be tied to Guardian ranks after hitting a level threshold or whatever bullshit you want. Access the next tier, the next tier, the next tier. Like, that's how you do it. Simple enough. Unlocking the ability to just play how the fuck you want. Remove scoring, remove fucking the time limit, except for maybe conquest. You can have the extinction modifier, or make it a modifier by choice that you can put a timer on, and you could also make a scoring, challenge as you want. Just make it to where people essentially have modifiers, but it's all optional. And you can do the power caps too, because at that point, it's just you play how the fuck you want. There's no longer power. Like, the gear that you get is the gear you get, except it's based on tier, like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, right? No one, like, remove unstable cores, remove all that garbage, keep masterwork cores. Guess what? For masterworking, like, you don't need infusion. Infusion can go away. And which is great because the amount of fucking clutter can just go away. It could just go away. That is the solution. That's how you make Destiny at base better. The other way also is just remove the fucking portal and make the rest of the 90% of the game viable again. But that's a pipe dream. I would be very surprised, and I know they are going to. It literally, Renegades has to fucking kill Destiny 2 to its knees for Bungie to get rid of the portal. That's the reality. Renegades has to be a colossal failure like Edge of Fate, or actually I would say even it has to just do the same as Edge of Fate in numbers, because they're expecting a massive pool with Renegades with Star Wars. They're expecting you to invest, and guarantee the shop is going to be full of so much goddamn Star Wars MTX. Like, that is where they're hoping to make bank. And hold off until Marathon comes out. Which, by the way, we can tell why Destiny's suffering even more than normal. It's because all resources are going to Marathon. They're desperate to make Marathon good, and that's the problem. It's even more noticeable than ever before that all resources, all hands on deck is going straight to Marathon because they cannot afford for it to fail. Which I think it's going to be better than what it was. I still think it's going to be a failure in the wider gaming audience. Well, because even now there's like division on Black Ops, even though it's made changes, Activision's made changes. There's still people shitting on Call of Duty and not happy with what it is, right? So I still see the gaming community, especially the fact that Bungie's reputation hasn't changed. There's no goodwill in the gaming community with Bungie. And so I don't think that's going to be enough. I think they need to fix the reputation as well, which they're not doing. But that's my thoughts. That's kind of like a little news catch up, you know, all the things that are kind of happening, instead of just making random one-off videos, crunch them together. So you're welcome. I didn't make a bunch of useless mini videos. It's just one big one. And it wasn't just me reacting to someone else's video. It's my own. Cheers. Again, remember, 5,000 subscribers and I'm no longer Jack Black's body double. I know. I'm also gonna, it's gonna be really weird because I've gotten so used to petting my own beard. It's such a bad habit, and it feels like I don't know why I do it. Like, I don't know. It's just a bad, even when I'm in meetings at my job, I'm sitting here petting myself. It's really weird. I've had women pet me like this before, by the way. They'll, like, caress me a little bit. Not the same as petting myself. Just gonna say that. Just gonna say that. It's not to say. It's gonna be really weird being a naked mole rat. I'm literally going to be just another generic white dude. You know, like the dudes that are upset that I keep grilling Bungie. Those dudes. I'm gonna look like a naked mole rat like them. Except I'm not gonna be glazing Bungie. I'm just gonna be continue shitting on them. Anyways, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and I'll see you whenever. I will be playing, if the new exotic mission comes out this week, I will do that. I thought it was next week, but I think it's this Tuesday. I have Meet the Teacher. Even though I'm not a teacher, I'm still required to stay late, so I will be back late. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So whenever I get on, I get on. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.